Okay, so let's start today's discussion. Today we will going to discuss about the up-down synchronous counter. First of all, this is a synchronous counter. So that means here all the flip-flops getting the clock pulse simultaneously. Okay, from the same source, not from the previous flip-flop output, but from the same external clock source. All the flip-flop inside the counter getting the same clock pulse simultaneously. So that's why they are called the synchronous counter. And today we are going to design a 3-bit up-down counter. Okay, so this 3-bit is not mentioned here, but by default it's a 3-bit because for the 4-bit circuit will be much more complex. So today we are going to discuss about the 3-bit up-down synchronous counter. So 3-bit means how many possible states are there? Three-bit counter means 8 possible states are there. So total possible states are 8. Okay, so that means from 0 to 7. Okay, because in the digital logic the counting is start from 0. So 8 steps means not from 8 but from not up to the 8 but from 0 to 7. So this is the steps the flip-flop need to count. Now here the property of this up-down counter is that the same counter can be counted up sequence as well as down sequence according to the requirement. Okay, so this is the state diagram for the 3-bit up counter. I think everybody is habituated to the state diagram. State diagram is nothing but the state mentioned here, and from which state it will go to the next step, it will be shown from with the help of an arrow. So this is the 0. This is the 0. After 0, then 1 will come. After 1, then 2 will come. So in this way, after 7, the 0 will come. So this is the state diagram for up counter. Okay, and this one is the state diagram for down counter. Down counter means here the arrows will be put in the opposite direction. Means from 0 it will go to 7. From 7 it will go to 6. From 6 it will go to 5. In this way, from 1 it will again go to 0, and in this way, as long as the clock pulse present in the circuit, it will start counting in the down sequence. So this is the 3-bit up counter state diagram, and this one is the 3-bit down counter state diagram. Any problem regarding this one state diagram? Is there any problem? Okay, so as I mentioned previously that state can be mentioned or state can be drawn either in 2 ways. One, suppose I want to draw the 0 state, so I can draw it like this. This is the 0, this is the binary equivalent of 0, so it should be put inside a circle, that is become the 0 state. Or if you want, just write the 0 means the decimal 0 and put a circle. Both will give you the same marks. It's not mandatory that every time you need to express the states in the binary form. You can express the state in the decimal form also. Okay, so here I express the state in the binary form, like 0 0 0 means 0, 1 1 1 means 7. But instead of that one, if you want, you can write the directly decimal number, means 0 here, 7 here, 6 here, like this one. No problems are there. So this is the state diagram for up and down counter 3-bit. Now here we want to implement the up-down 3-bit up-down counter using the T flip-flop. Okay, using the T flip-flop. As I mentioned, the flexibility of the synchronous counter design is that you can design any sequence using any type of flip-flop. 4 flip-flops are there: RS, JK, D, and T, and using any flip-flop, any type of counting sequence can be implemented. It's possible using the synchronous counter design techniques. But if it is not mentioned in the question, which counter you want to choose among the 4 counter? Suppose you have the option using the RS counter, JK counter, D counter, and the D flip-flop and the T flip-flop. So which one you used in your design? If it is not mentioned in the question.
T flip-flop.
Somebody say T flip-flop. Okay. Any other answer?
JK.
Okay, another person say JK. Okay, so second answer is JK. Somebody said T, somebody said JK. Means it's not mandatory because using any counter, any flip-flop, you can design the counter. Okay, It's not restricted anymore. In case of synchronous counter design, the counter choice of the counter is not restricted. It is depend upon the user choice. You can means you can produce the sequences using the T, using the JK, using D, using RS. All the flip-flops, all the flip-flops will give you the same result. But from your common sense, you can know that if you want to use the, so let me write this thing first. If you want to use the JK flip-flop and the RS flip-flop, then how many inputs are there in case of JK flip-flop? How many inputs are there in JK flip-flop?
2 inputs.
Two inputs are there. And how many inputs are there in RS flip-flop?
2.
Also 2.
2, sir.
And how many inputs are there in T flip-flop?
1.
1. And how many inputs are there in D flip-flop?
This
1.
also.
So that means if you 1 minute please. So if you design your counter using the T flip-flop and the D flip-flop, you just need to, for this 3-bit counter, okay, for this 3-bit counter design, you just need to do 3 Karnaugh map. One for T0, because 3 flip-flops are required. So one for T0, one Karnaugh map is required for T0, another for T1, another for T2. But if you want to design the counter using the JK flip-flop, you can. Ultimately, the result will be same, but to design the counter using the JK flip-flop, you need to do 6 K map. One for J0, K0, means 2 Karnaugh map for J0, K0, 2 for J1, K1, 2 for J2, K2. Because this is a double input flip-flop. So you need to do 6 Karnaugh map to find out the expression for J0, K0, J1, K1 and J2, K2. But you need to do only 3 Karnaugh map to find out the expression for T0, T1 and T2. So that's why my suggestion is that if the type of the flip-flop is not mentioned in the question, final exam or whatever be the exam is, then always go for the design using the T or the D, because these are the single input flip-flop. So if you use single input flip-flop for the synchronous counter design, you need to do only 3 or 4, whatever be the number of states, that Karnaugh map. But you need to do double amount of Karnaugh map simplification if you want to use the double input flip-flop, that means JK and RS. So it's my suggestion that if it is not mentioned in the question, don't go for the JK flip-flop implementation and the RS flip-flop implementation. Got it? Always go for the single input flip-flop in your counter. And if it is mentioned in the question, then you doesn't need to have that choice. So you have to use that particular flip-flop. But if it is not mentioned in the question, the type of the flip-flop, then always use the T or D. Bujha gache?
Yes.
Okay. So now that is the state diagram. Now come to the state table. This is the state table. Looks very much complicated, but believe me, this is a very, very simple state table. Let's understand this one. First 8 rows are for the down counter and last 8 rows are for the up counter. It is also mentioned here. This is mentioned down and this one is mentioned up. And here you see another input is there, which is called the mode control. Because as I mentioned that this is a up down counter, but simultaneously a counter is not able to count up or down. Either it is counting in the up sequence or in the down sequence, but not simultaneously. How it is possible that simultaneously it count the up and down? So from 2 it will definitely either go 3 or go 1, but not simultaneously 3 and 1. It's not possible. So that means another input is there, which is called the mode control switch, and depending upon the mode control switch input, the counter is either counting up or down. Okay, so this is a mode control switch. Suppose this is one switch, this is one mode control switch, and if this switch is placed at 1, the counter is counting in the up sequence, and if the switch is placed at 0, then the counter is counting in the down sequence, sorry, in the up sequence. 1 for the up sequence, 0 for the down sequence. You see, this is up down is 0. So that means if the up down switch is placed at 0 position, it will count down sequence, and if the up down switch is placed at 1 position like this one, it will count in the up sequence. So this is another switch. Okay, now here you see this is the present state. 3 flip-flops we are using actually, that's why 3 inputs are there, 3 outputs are there, Q0, Q1 and Q2, and this is the next state. Next state also same, Q0, Q1 and Q2, and here we are using the T flip-flop. So this is the T0, T1 and T2. Am I connected?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now for the first 8 rows, it will count in the down sequence, because in the first 8 row, you see the up down switch is placed at 0. Okay, so you see this is the 0. So first you need to write 3-bit combination, that is nothing but a 0, 1, 2 up to 8. Sorry, up to 7. So 0 to 7, total 8 possible combination. I just write in this particular column. Now come to the next state. If it is in the down sequence, after 0, what will be the next state in the down sequence? Just check this one, down counter state diagram. After 0, it will go to, check this one, after 0, it will go to what state?
7.
7.
Seven,
So it's
sir.
clearly mentioned. Why are you taking the 7? So here see, this is the 0, 0 and arrowhead is also showing. So after 0, it will go to 7 definitely. So that means after 0, it will go to 7. So you see in the next state, it is 7 is written, 1, 1, 1 is written. Okay. Now in the next state, this is equal to 1. So after 1, it will go to what state? It will go to 0 state. Okay, so 0 is written here. Then it is 2. So after 2, it will go to 1. So that's why the 1 state is written here. In this way, at last, when the final state is 7, it will go to next state, it will go to 6. So that's why 1, 1, 0 is written at the next state output. Okay, so that's complete the first 8 row. Come to the last 8 row where up down sequence is connected as 1, this one. And here again you need to write the all possible combination, that is starting from 0, 1, 2 up to 7. Okay, up to 7, and here it is counting in the up sequence. So that's why after 1 it will go to, after 0 it will go to 1 step. Then after 1, this is the 1. So after 1 it will go to 2 in this way, and at last after 7 it will go to initial state, that means 0. So this will complete the present state and next state input for up and down counter. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now come here. We need to fill up the flip-flop input. That is the main important part of this thing. So here you see present state is 0 here, Q2 is 0 here, and Q1 is 1 here. 1 minute please. So you see present state is 0 here, next state is 1 here. So that means this is a 0 to 1 transition. Okay, so this is a 0 to 1 transition. And for T input, it's very easy. Whatever be the next state, it will reflect the same value of the input. So that's why T2 equal to 1. This is coming actually from the excitation table of the T flip-flop. So 0 to 1 transition means T input should be 1. Second one also, second one for Q1, 0 to 1 transition also. So this is also 0 to 1 transition. Present state it is 0. In the next state it will goes to 1. So that is the 0 to 1 transition. And for 0 to 1 transition, T1 should be 1. Third one also 0 to 1 transition. That's why this is equal to 1. Now coming to this one, this is equal to 0. The next state is also 0. So that means this is a 0 to 0 transition. This one is a 0 to 0 transition. And for 0 to 0 transition, what will be the flip-flop input?
0.
It's equal to 0.
0.
In this way, we need to fill up the every column or the rows of the flip-flop inputs. Okay, it is very clear. Whatever be the next state, it is just reflecting the same value. But that is valid for the T input only. Okay. So whenever the same state is there from 1 to 1 or 0 to 0, T input equal to 0. And if it is toggle between 0 and 1, 1 to 0, then the T input equal to 1. That is the properties of the T flip-flop, and it is coming from the excitation table of the T flip-flop. Now check this one. We need to find out the expression for T2, T1, T0, also the mode control, also this one, because the mode control is one of the input in this type of flip-flop apart from the flip-flop inputs. So how many K-map we need to do? Hello, how many flip-flop, how many K-map we need to do for this expression?
5.
No, not 5. Why 5? Just look at the expression. Last day I told you that just look at the expression for T0. Here it is 1 every time. So you can easily comment without doing the K-map that T0 should be equal to 1. Because it is 1 in all the possible rows. Means in all the rows, the value of the T0 equal to 1. So that's why T0 equal to 1 always. We doesn't need to do the K-map for finding out the expression for T0. Okay. But for T1 and T2, we need to find out the expression because some zeros are there. And remember one thing, that if any of the things is contain some zero, like the expression of T2, these zeros are there. And suppose in the expression of T1 also some zeros are there. So if the particular column of the output is content, sorry, the inputs are contain some zeros, then we have to do the K-map to find out the expression. But if all the rows of the input is either 1 or don't care condition, then without doing the K-map, we can we can find out the values, and that should be 1 because it will fill all the cells of the K-map. So this is the maximum bigger group, and maximum bigger movements, its value is always 1. Now the expression for this one, T2, T1 and T0, we can finding out using the K-map. As I mentioned, T0 equal to 1, and we doesn't need to do the K-map for that one. T2 equal to this one, UD, this is the up down. Up down is one of the input here. So up down bar, Q1 bar, Q0 bar plus up down Q1, Q0, and T1 equal to UD X nor Q0. Now based on this one, if you just draw the circuit, it will looks like this one, and it goes on the up down sequence based on the up down control. So let's look at the circuit in the circuit maker software. No, this is not. Where is the up down counter? Up down counter. So here you see, we take 3 flip-flop. As I mentioned that this flip-flop is not available. The T flip-flop is not available in the circuit maker. That's why we need to take the JK flip-flop and just short circuit the J and K input. It will become the T flip-flop. So here you see, every flip-flop is short circuited. Here you see J and K flip-flops, J and K inputs are short circuited to make it the T2. Similarly, this is the T1, and here also JK inputs are short circuited. And for the T0, J and K inputs are short circuited to make it T0. Okay. So 3 flip-flop, and apart from this one, T0 equal to 1. That's why this one is connected to 1. But T1 and T0 are coming from the expression, which we have need to find out using the K-map. And this is the output of the flip-flops. This is the Q0, this is Q1, and this is Q2. So this is output in BCD format or in the binary format, you can tell. And this is for your convenience. I put a 7-segment display driver 7447 and put a common common anode LED. There is common anode 7-segment display. Now run the things. So here you see, now you see up down, this up down mode is connected to where? 2 options are the up down mode can be connected to 1 or it can be connected to 0. Now it is connected to 1. It's not connected to 1. Just look here. Up down. This is the up down. Up down mode is connected to where?
0.
It is connected to 0. And as it is connected to 0, you see this one is counting in the down sequence. So it is mentioned here also that if the up down switch is connected to 0, it will count in the down sequence, and if it is connected to 1, then it will count in the up sequence. So as it is connected to 0, that's why it is counting in the down sequence. 0, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, again 0, like this one. But if I change it to 1, you see, if now I'm changing it to from 0 to 1, and as I change it to 1, it's not counting in the up sequence. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this one. So that means this counter has the ability to count up or down based on a particular input, which is called the mode control input. Okay. So this is called the synchronous up-down counter. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any doubts regarding this up-down counter? That is called the synchronous up-down counter, 3-bit synchronous up-down counter. Why it is called the synchronous? Because you see, the clock pulse are connected to the same clock pulse from the pulsar, or the pulse source is connected to every flip-flop, T2 as well as T1 as well as T0. So every flip-flop getting the same clock pulse from an external source. And this is called the up-down, because based on the control or based on the command, up-down command, either it is counting up sequence or in the down sequence. So according to the requirement, sometime the counter working as the down sequence, sometime working as the up sequence. Okay.
Hello, sir.
বলো।
স্যার ওই সিমুলেশনটা বার করুন না ওখানে স্যার T2 এর
বলো।
ওখানে স্যার T2 হচ্ছে এটা আছে ফ্লিপ ফ্লপটা ওর স্যার কিউ বারটা কোথাও স্যার কানেকশন নেই, বাকিগুলোর কেন কানেকশন আছে এদিকে নিয়েছেন যে
T2.
হ্যাঁ
This one is actually coming from the expression. So here you see in that expression, which you need to find out from the K-map. So T2 equal to this one, the expression for T2 after doing the K-map simplification for T2, where you taking the up down and this Q2 up down and Q2, Q1 and Q0 as the input of the K-map. So these are the input of the K-map, and this is the expression. This thing we need to map in the K-map, and after finding out the expression using the K-map, it is coming out this one, that T2 equal to UD bar. Here you see UD bar, Q1 bar, Q0 bar. So we require to produce the Q1 bar and Q0 bar, and this one is available. This Q1 bar is also available in the circuit, because flip-flop has the two input. One is Q and one is the Q bar. So from the one flip-flop, we can get it easily for the Q1 bar and Q0 bar. But here you see from this expression, Q2 bar is not required. So that's why this Q2 bar is left blank. This Q2 bar is left blank, because in the expression Q2 bar is not required, but Q1 bar is required here. This Q1 bar is required here. Q0 bar is also required here. That's why we need to take connection from the Q1 bar as well as Q0 bar. Got it?
ওকে স্যার
This one is coming from the expression. Okay. Now I gave on this assignment last day, but today we're going to the same type of assignment in the class also, and I hope everybody will be cleared using this one. That may be a little bit complicated, but if you keep your patience, it will give you the ultimate results. Means whatever be the expression, it will run the circuit. So we need to design a synchronous counter for counting the sequence 4, 6, 7, 3, 1, 4. So that means this is our sequence 4, 6, 7, 3, 1. After counting 1, it will again return back to the 4. So this is obviously a haphazard counting, means irregular counting. We should not use the term haphazard. This is called a irregular counting sequence, not regular, means 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not like this one. So it's called a irregular counting sequence 4, 6, 7, 3, 1. And here we need to use the synchronous design technology, because only using the synchronous counter design technology, it's possible to implement that particular states. And as it is mentioned in the question, avoid lockout condition, we need to use the JK flip-flop. Again, I'm telling, if some flip-flop is mentioned in the question, you have to use that flip-flop, otherwise you will not get the marks. So first is that few steps we need to follow, and first one is obviously the state diagram. So these are the steps we need to follow using to design the synchronous counter. First is
Hello, sir.
sorry, I got disconnected. 1 minute, please. See the screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first is the state diagram. This is the state diagram. As you see, this is the useful state 4, 6, 7, 3, 1. These are the useful state. So 4, after 4, 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 3, 3 to 1. So this is the state diagram. But in this diagram, we need to avoid the lockout condition also. So this is the unused state 0, 2, and 5. These states are not used here in the sequence. So this is called the unused states. And from the unused states, we need to assign some of the useful states. That is the procedure for avoiding the lockout condition. So from 0, what will be the next used state? After 0, what will be the next used state?
1.
1. So that's why from 0, we give a arrow to the 1 state. Okay. Then 2 is another unused state. So from 2, the 3 will be there, because from 2, the 3 will be the next used state. And 5 to 6. So this is the technique for avoiding the lockout condition. Okay, it's very easy, because what is the meaning of the lockout condition? Lockout condition means if we not mention some of the next states from the unused states, then it may happen that the counter is rotating inside the unused states also. So here actually want to design a counter whose counting sequence should be 4, 6, 7, 3, 1, which is required by the user, but counter is actually counting 0, 2, 5, 0, 2, 5 infinite time. So that's why, to avoid this one, we have to mention the next state from every unused states. Okay, so from 0, the 1 should be there, 2 to 3, and 5 to 6. So this is called a state diagram. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Next is the state table. This is the state table. So state table means first is the present state, then the next state, and then the flip-flop input. And here you see, as the maximum state is 7, so we record only 3 flip-flop. So this is the flip-flop 0, 2, and 3, 0, 1, and 2. And this is the output of the flip-flop Q0, Q1, Q2. This is the present state. Present state means it's equal to the all possible combinations starting from 0 to 7. It's nothing else. This is all possible combination from 0 to 7. So we need to write it in the first 3 column. Then coming to the next state, and from the state diagram, we can easily fill it out, because from 0, what will be the next state from 0?
1.
1, sir.
And say from 7, what will be the next state?
3.
3. So that means from 0, the next state is 0, 0, 1 or simply 1. And from 7, next state will be 3. So in this way, from the state diagram, we can also able to fill up to the 6th column. That means the present state and the next state. Then from the excitation table of the JK flip-flop, we need to fill it up very carefully, the flip-flop input. And don't do any mistake in any of the field. Then your circuit will malfunction definitely. So like this one, this is equal to 0. This Q2 equal to 0 in present, and Q2 will be 0 also in the next state. So that means this is called a 0 to 0 transition. Presently it is 0. In the next state it is also 0. So 0 to 0 transition means from the excitation table it is mentioned here that it should be 0 don't care. So J2 should be 0 for this particular flip-flop input, and K2 should be don't care condition. So in this way we need to fill up every possible combination. Suppose this is 1. This Q0 equal to 1 in the present state, Q0 equal to 0 in the next state. So this is called 1 to 0 transition. 1 to 0 transition. And for 1 to 0 transition, the particular flip-flop input should be don't care 1. So J0 should be don't care, K0 should be 1. So very slowly using the excitation table, you need to fill out the flip-flop inputs. After filling out the flip-flop input, look the every input of the flip-flop J2, K2, J1, K1 and J0, K0 and see how many K-map we need to do. So here I can find out that for finding out the expression for J1, we doesn't require any K-map because J1 no, we need to do the K-map because some zeros are present here. So we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to do 6 K-map unfortunately in this design, because no such columns is there in the flip-flop input where all the inputs either 1 or don't care condition. Got it? So we need to do the K-map simplification to find out the expression for J2, K2, J1, K1, J0, K0. And unfortunately here we need to do 6 K-map for finding out the expression for 6 flip-flop inputs. Then the K-map is not showing here, but the final expression is showing here. J2 equal to Q1 bar Q0, K2 equal to Q1 Q0. Similarly, J1 equal to this one, K1 equal to this one, J0 equal to this one, K0 equal to this one. Then logic diagram, draw 3 flip-flop, JK flip-flop, give them name, which one is J0, which one is K0, which one is J2, K2, J1, K1, all these things. Give the same clock pulse to every flip-flop. After that, just produce this expression and give it. Means just produce the Q1 bar is also available in the flip-flop. So take the Q1 bar and Q0 and them together and give it to J2. Similarly, take the Q1 and Q0 and them together, give it to K1. Take only Q2, just connect it to J1. Take the Q2 bar and Q0 and then them, give it to K1. So in this way, here for J0, take the Q2 bar and Q1 or them, connect it to J0. In this way, we can simplify this expression like that. This is the design techniques. This is the logic diagram, and minimum 10 marks should be there for this counter design. 10 to 12 marks should be there because so many steps are required. First is the logic state diagram, state table, expression, logic diagram. And you see, in case of logic diagram, as I am copying the logic diagram from the Circuit Maker software, that's why it's look like this one. But actually, in case of original exam, you doesn't need to mention this clear and the preset, because in the Circuit Maker, as the preset and clear are there, so you have to connect it to somewhere. But in the actual circuit, just draw the block diagram, rectangular blocks like give the flip-flop 2, flip-flop 1, flip-flop 0. Give the input like this one. This is the J0. I should mention here, but unfortunately I'm not. So this should be equal to J0, K0. This one is J1, K1, like this one. You just need to give the name. And this is equal to J2, K2. This is J2 and K2. This one is K2. And just produce the X term from the K-map, whatever you got, and connect it here. It will definitely run. Just look at the circuit. So this is the circuit 4671. Now you see, I just run the circuit and it will look fine. So initially that is the 4 6 7 3 1 0. Sorry, not 0, 4 3 7 6 1. After 1 it will again come to the 4. So 4 6 7 3 1 4 6 7 3 1. It will counting in the infinite loop as long as the clock pulse is present in the circuit, and the circuit is made exactly from the expression which we get from the K-map. And here you see, here we are not using any other flip-flop, rather we use the actual flip-flop IC. So 7476 is the dual JK flip-flop, means inside the IC 2 JK flip-flops are there, and in my design total 3 flip-flops are required. So this is the flip-flop 0, this is the flip-flop 1 and 2. Sorry, this is the flip-flop 1 2, and this is the flip-flop 3 and 4. And here you see flip-flop 4 is not required, that's why the J2 K2 all the clock pulse inputs are left blank, because every IC 7476 IC it contains 2 flip-flops. So 2 are required here, 2 are using here, and 1 is using from this IC. Got it? This is called the synchronous counter design. বোঝা গেছে?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have told you. Okay, so first class is over. I do not want to do any more things. So let me clear one thing, that I have in this, when I just taught you the asynchronous counter design, 3-bit asynchronous counter, how to design a 3-bit down asynchronous counter. First you tell me this is the up counter or down counter. This is asynchronous counter because the clock pulse is not connected everywhere. The clock pulse is connected to the first flip-flop only, but the rest of the flip-flop the clock pulse is getting from the previous flip-flop output. That is called the asynchronous flip-flop. And this is the up or down counter. This one is the up counter or down counter? Very good. This is the up counter. How to make it down?
We add that with the Q bar.
So
The
the clock
clock
pulse
pulse.
which is taken from the Q, if we take the clock pulse from the previous flip-flop output bar, that means Q bar, then it will become a down counter. I just show you the example. Means, sorry. This should be connected to Q bar. So that line should be then deleted. That line should be deleted. The connection should be deleted, because if I simultaneously connect it to Q and Q bar, nothing will happen. So clock pulse, if the clock, let me show you in the diagram. It will take 1 minute only. 3-bit synchronous counter, asynchronous counter. This is the 3-bit asynchronous count. Oh, not look. Why it is so much complicated? No, not this one. 3-bit synchronous upon 3-bit synchronous. This one is the. So this is a simple circuit, and here you see, if I just give the clock pulse. Oh, 1 minute. If I give the manual clock pulse, run the circuit, then you see it's counting up 1 2 3 4 like this one. But instead of taking the clock pulse from the previous flip-flop output, if I take the clock pulse from this one, previous flip-flop output bar, then it will start counting in the down sequence. I just show you. So I delete the clock pulse from the previous flip-flop output and connect the clock pulse from the previous flip-flop output bar. So clock pulse from previous flip-flop output bar. Now you see, if I run the circuit and give the clock pulse, so it will start counting down 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0 7 6 5 4 like this one. Okay. So this is the technique for making or for designing the up down asynchronous counter. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now how can you design this one? Design the sequential up to counter. So realization of sequential, the realization of synchronous up down counter. Are you able to do this thing? Manual, everything is there, but are you understand this one? How to design the implementation of synchronous up-down counter. So synchronous means you need to do the truth table, that state diagram, state table like this one, which you have just mentioned in the today's class. So this is the realization of synchronous up-down counter, and this is the realization of asynchronous up-down counter. So these two lab is also one, because I think everybody is able to understand this one. Today we see that how to realize the synchronous up-down counter, also the asynchronous up-down counter. And this one also, design of sequential counter with irregular sequence. Irregular sequence means haphazard sequence, 2, 5, 9, 8, like this one. So using the synchronous counter design technology, we can do this thing. So these three is also over. We doesn't require this separate lab help, because the manuals is there, and using the manuals you can easily understand how to implement that one, because everything is covered in the class. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So class is over, and anybody is there who is not mentioned their roll number, I will return back at exactly 2:45. Okay.
Sir, 48 roll number.
1 minute, please. Other people, they may silently leave. Thank you for attending the class, and
L5, sir.
return back at 2:45. Okay. 1 minute, please.